The camp of Israel stretched across the plains like a sea of tents, flickering with evening fires. Joshua stood at the edge of the camp, watching Moses ascend the mountain alone. The old prophet's silhouette was small against the burning sky, yet Joshua felt the weight of that moment like a stone on his chest. He remembered being a young man, Moses' shadow, his student, his soldier. He remembered the trembling awe of Sinai, the golden calf, the battles fought, the rebellions quelled. Moses had been the voice of God to the people. How could anyone follow him? When the sun dipped below the horizon, a hush fell over the camp. No one spoke, no one moved. Then the news came. Moses had died on the mountain. Joshua bowed his head, tears slipping silently into the dust. Not for the burden he knew was coming, but for the man he had loved like a father. That night, the Lord spoke to him, "Moses, my servant, is gone. Rise, lead these people." Joshua trembled, but he answered. Before dawn, Joshua entered the tent of meeting. The air inside shimmered with a soft, living radiance. It was not fire, yet it warmed him, not sunlight, yet it illuminated every corner. He knelt.
"Lord, I am not Moses."
The divine presence pressed around him like a gentle storm. "You are Joshua, I have chosen you. Be strong, be courageous." Joshua felt something shift inside him, fear loosening its grip, purpose settling in its place. He rose with a new steadiness in his bones. Outside, the first light of morning touched the camp. A new chapter of Israel's story had begun. Two young warriors, Salmon and Ithamar, stood before Joshua. "You will cross the river tonight," Joshua said. "Enter Jericho, learn what you can." They nodded and vanished into the darkness. Jericho was a fortress of stone and cedar, its walls towering like cliffs. The spies slipped through the alleys until a woman, Rahab, pulled them into her home.
"I know who you are. You are Hebrews, and I know your God has given you this land." The hearts of our people melt with fear.
They freeze, a loud knock echoes from outside.
Rachel! Quick, upstairs! We need the flame guns on the roof!
She hid them beneath stalks of flax as soldiers pounded on her door.
Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. They left at dusk. Pursue them quickly, you may overtake them.
The soldiers left the city. When the danger passed, she led them to the city wall.
Remember me. Remember my family.
"We will."
Find this scarlet cord in the window. Gather your household inside.
"When the city falls, whoever is in this house shall live."
When the spies returned to Joshua, their report was clear. "The Lord has already gone before us." Joshua felt a spark of hope ignite. The Jordan River thundered with spring floods, its waters churning like a living beast. The people murmured anxiously, clutching their children and belongings. Joshua stood before them.
"Sanctify yourselves. Today the Lord will do wonders among you."
The priests stepped forward, carrying the Ark of the Covenant. As their feet touched the water, the river shuddered, then froze. The waters rose into a glittering wall, suspended as though held by invisible hands. The riverbed dried beneath their feet. Cries of awe rippled through the tribes. Joshua walked at the front, humbled by the miracle. He felt the presence of Moses beside him, not in body, but in legacy. Israel had entered the land of promise. Jericho's walls loomed high, its gates sealed. Warriors lined the battlements, watching Israel with wary eyes. Joshua gathered the people. "We will not attack with swords," he said. "We will walk." For 6 days, Israel marched around the city once each morning. No shouting, no weapons drawn, only the steady rhythm of footsteps and the haunting call of ram's horns. Inside Jericho, fear grew like a storm. On the 7th day, they marched 7 times. The air vibrated with tension. Joshua lifted his hand.
More! Shout! For the Lord has given you the city!
The people roared, the earth trembled, the walls cracked, then collapsed in a thunderous cascade of stone and dust. Israel surged forward, but Joshua's first command was clear: bring out Rahab and her family. A promise kept. The kings of the land united against Israel, forming a coalition of armies. Joshua led his warriors through valleys and mountains, through ambushes and sieges. But one battle stretched long into the day. The enemy fled toward the hills, and Joshua knew nightfall would give them escape. He looked to the sky.
Lord, your promise is not yet complete.
The light froze, shadows halted, time bowed to the command of the Almighty. Israel won a victory that would be remembered for generations. Years passed. Joshua grew older, his beard silvered, his hands lined with the marks of war and leadership. He walked through fields now blooming with grain, past vineyards heavy with fruit. Children played where armies once clashed. Peace settled over the land like morning dew. Joshua oversaw the division of the land among the tribes, ensuring fairness, honoring ancient promises. He felt the end of his journey approaching. Under the shade of an ancient oak at Shechem, Joshua gathered the tribes. The sky blazed with sunset colors: gold, crimson, violet.
You have seen all the Lord has done.
You have walked through miracles. You have tasted his promises.
He paused, letting the silence deepen.
Who's this day whom you will serve?
The people murmured, stirred by his words. Joshua placed his hand over his heart.
Read him. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
A roar of devotion rose from the tribes. Joshua smiled, peace settling over him like a warm cloak. His journey was complete. Joshua was laid to rest in the land he had fought for, the land he had believed in, the land he had led a nation to inherit. He was remembered not only as a warrior, but as a servant, faithful, courageous, steady. A man who listened when God spoke. A man who walked forward when others trembled. A man who carried the mantle of Moses and did not falter. His story lived on.